Hail and well met. Welcome to the next episode of Isekai Realms, brought to you by the Dungeon Scrawlers, some of whom are here and some of whom are not, because we have some guest players and a very special recurring guest DM in the form of Chris the Gray. But first, before we get to that, I am Eric Scott the Bee, often the DM of games on the Dungeon Scrawlers channel, but not always. We are diversifying and bringing you more gaming goodness, and we got lots of cool stuff for you coming up in the next year. This session brought to you in part by Red Blooded, an American bourbon. It is not really that great, but it's fine. They don't sponsor us, so you know.
So you can be honest.
As I recall, my character might be becoming a paladin, which is, oh boy, what a thing. Anyway, take it away, Allie.
Hi, everybody. I'm Alexander Pitchford, or just Allie, an author, game designer. I mean, you know their shtick by now. And I would also like to take a second to tell you about one of our sponsors, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, which is a strategy game that unites iconic Dungeons & Dragons characters from novels, campaigns, and popular shows into one epic adventure, including Farida from the Brimstone Angels novels. The game is available for PC and Mac on Steam and web, Epic Games Store, Google Play, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, iPad, iPhone, all Android devices, maybe an Etch-a-Sketch, who knows. For more information, check out idlechampions.com. And this week is also Winterfests. For the next 7 days, you can claim a free chest every day. And if you claim 4 of these chests, you can collect the hero Lazaps, an epic feat, and a free Spelljammer skin. So, you know, happy Idle holidays, everybody.
Nice.
Hey, I'm Rhiannon Held. I write urban fantasy is Rhiannon Held, and space opera is RZ Held. I'm a professional archaeologist in my day job. That might come up. And I'm going to talk about some of our other sponsors, including the one who's doing the giveaway today. So North Foundry makes metal dice, which are super awesome and cool, very shiny. And today, when you type in !ticket, you can be entered to win a black lava set and also a matching boulder, I am told. It is a big die.
I have them right here, in fact.
So
there's a full-on set right here, and then there's a massive D20, which is... Okay, you see my hand? My hand is pretty gigantic. This D20 is like the size of a normal person's palm.
And Allie's
very
showing
cool.
the set. So if you are in North America, you can win those. And if you are international, instead you get a $25 gift card. And our other dice sponsor is Phoenix Dice, which makes dice from recycled materials. And you can find their dice and accessories at phoenixdice.com.
Perhaps the color wasn't clear. It is black with red. Is highly readable. Perfect for gaming. Will dent your table, so be careful.
Hi, I'm Randy. Member of the Dungeon Scholars, author of the Fin Fantasy series, and I'll be playing me tonight. I just wanted to give a quick mention that our charity continues to be the Trevor Project, which is an awesome organization that provides crisis and support to LGBTQ youth. So, you know, saving lives with every dollar you give. So please check that out.
And I am Joel Everett. I'm usually one of the mods cutting up in chat under the handle Rumpus Imperator, and I cannot wait to see how Eric handles being a paladin under 2nd edition rules.
Oh boy. See, the big question is whether Chris thinks that I have a charisma of 17 or not.
Joel, you were saying?
You know, I take it back. It's actually really good.
Please go ahead.
Ready?
Yes, go ahead. I have nothing else to.
Sorry, that was entirely my fault. Take it away, Chris.
All right. So I'll start just by making a random observation about one of your sponsors. I too have sets of dice by North Foundry and happen to be holding in my hot little hand the official Gen Con set from this year's Gen Con, which I picked up at Gen Con.
Nice.
So how about that? These metal also will dent your table, but I thought it was ironic that you were talking about them, so I figured I'd share. All right, so when last we left our heroes, so to speak, which was a while ago in real life, about a month, I think, you had traipsed from the clearing where you arrived in the woods to a little hamlet nearby, back from that hamlet towards the clearing in the woods where you were due to return. You picked up a new party member all along the way, that being Joel in this particular instance, who showed up there while you were all in town. Allie drank some bad beer, but is now back with us, fully recovered. And you participated in some interesting events in town, which were the unfortunate death of a young woman who resembled Erin, your friend, who sort of caused you to engage yourself with her in the first place. The release of a devil, some sort of a conflict with a Tyrian paladin, and said devil, much property destruction, fleeing the scene of the crime, and rescuing along the way 2 children that the now deceased woman was carrying, and that you did not know she was, that you are now yourselves bearing as you head back into the woods. You are accompanied by 2 individuals that you picked up there, or perhaps they perceive it as they picked up you there. And that is May, who is a sorceress, I think, by her own description, and is of Asian descent, which, you can guess what that means here in the realms. And Oldor, who is a big, burly, sort of barkeep bouncer, who is some admixture of goblinoid, along with a person like slight fangs, but you're not 100% sure what Oldor's heritage is. And you've been moving along the muddy track that you came down, headed back towards the clearing, because there purportedly is a gate that you may be able to use to get far away from this place before either the devil or the paladin manages to track you down, or both, and find what you have spirited away from the town.
Yeah, I'm not sure which would be worse.
Somewhat unexpectedly, at the end of the night, after we got the band back together, Eric decided to do something interesting. Eric, would you like to describe what you did?
Okay, I think I had some kind of psychotic break and decided to try and channel the power of faith and summon Vindicator, which I had made up in the setting, and it worked, I think.
And you cooked off all of the power in this mark. I think that's what we're referring to it as, is the mark. And Yang Yang, if you could bring up the mark just so that people can take a peek at it, which is this combination of symbols that sits upon your chest above your heart, each one of you, and can be made to glow by your conscious effort or by the invoking of its power, which sometimes occurs when you want it to and when you don't. And you decided, I'm gonna just go for it and suck this thing dry and see what
happens.
And you set off a prismatic explosion of light and power, which almost broke you apart at the molecular level, but instead gave you this sword. And I jotted down some things that you were saying collectively in front of these charming individuals during our last session. So I'm just going to read them in no particular order, but this is just sort of to remind you about it. That you're planeswalkers from another plane.
Yep.
That from your home plane, XYZ, occurred. Eric, you claimed to be a Thalavar after first denying it. Then you said if that they may never see you again, but that you would protect the babes or give them to someone who can protect them when you're gone. I think that might have been you, Rhiannon. Randy, you said that you had foreseen their destiny and you would see it fulfilled. You went on about something that you like to affectionately refer to as the infinite realms theory. You, Randy, mentioned a dire magical apocalypse incoming in the night. And Eric, you advised the purchasing of real estate in the town of Dead.
In Dead Snows, yeah.
Yes, those were some of the choice remarks that I pulled from some of the things that you said before you did what you did at the end of last session.
I mean, I did ask if, you know, people knew of the town of Dead Snows or had any connections there or might end up there. But like, it's not a big deal if not.
I think you said one more thing. Yes. Before doing what you did, you said in a very dramatic fashion, I am attempting to channel magic. Please stand away. That occurred in game. So with all of that, does anyone have any questions before we begin?
Yeah. What the heck? Are you high?
Maybe.
Apparently. Like,
We did use the phrase psychotic break.
Allie, like, I really needed the like sensible person backup. Like,
You know, one of the people who also stuck to the spirit of the game with not bringing all the random stuff.
Look, I may have been a bit emotionally compromised / overwhelmed.
All right. So if there are no other questions of the DM, I shall plunge right in.
Oh, that
Okay.
was my question in character, but yes, let's go.
Okay, I think you'll ask that one. So you're standing in the
Okay. Actually, before I think there's one thing that maybe we should have a little discussion about as a party. Are we going to try to are we trying to play by butterfly effect rules, or do we think if we get a chance we want to shoot Hitler here? I mean,
have
do we
that
wanna try-
conversation in game.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was trying to have that conversation in game. So I am asking the group, like, what do you think
well,
we ought to do?
we got to see if
trying
Eric
to-
is still with us before
Yes.
we
Yeah,
begin to
let's
converse.
do that
That's-
first.
Give me
That
a
would be
moment to set this. Give me a moment to set the scene, and then I'll turn you loose to have whatever conversation.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So again, as a reminder, there is you're located right about where you came onto the track, the muddy track, the road for the first time when you exited these woods. You can sort of see around the area and you can sort of deduce that you are about that spot. That puts you somewhere between 15 and 30 minutes away from the clearing that you're heading out in the direction of. You know that there are wargs in them woods, that somewhere in there's about 13 wargs, nasty looking buggers that are as big as ponies roaming around out there. And I don't know the degree to which you've necessarily alerted everybody about that particular detail.
My
it's-
little warg, can we brush their tails and put bows in?
Give it a shot. Anything can work. What was I going to
Andy,
say?
it's not a game.
May and Oldor are just stunned, and they're just agog. You sort of warned them, you sort of tried to give them some sort of heads up that something was coming, but no one expects the Spanish Inquisition, and so they did not know what was happening there, and they were clearly stunned by that display of overwhelming magical might, right? That then birthed a blazing sword out of nowhere. And so you can see that they were shocked by that. Eric is standing 62 feet away from the rest of the party. That was his designation of a minimum safe distance. The rest of the group is more or less clustered up, with Randy and Rhiannon probably the furthest from the action, so to speak, because they were each holding one of the two babies. And in fact, we're feeding them or attempting to feed them with the cow's horn and the milk that you were given when Eric decided, I think Joel set it off by going, have you tried to summon Vindicator yet? And that then led us straight to this. And so
He's a pusher.
that's what just occurred. Eric, you were driven to your knees by like the sheer power that just went off. And this weapon appeared in your hand. It is exactly what you expect it to look like in your mind. And maybe Yang Yang, this is a good opportunity to bring up the Vindicator image. And if you want to, for a minute, in-game, out-of-game, Eric, tell us where this came from, since I think it was created by a friend of yours.
So the art for Vindicator, if Yang Yang brings it up, comes from Lori Krell, who produced a bunch of other art for the Dungeon Scrawlers. You will see her work in most of the NPCs that we have show up. She is not the person who created the actual PC art of the player characters, but most of the NPCs, she did the art for them, and she did the Vindicator art. She's a very talented artist. I believe her Twitter is L'Oreal Draws something. I'll put a link in the chat. You can go look her up.
Okay, thank you, Eric. And it is a bastard sword, a 1.5 hand sword. And its blade is presently leaking, as you can see from the image. Silvery fire, is that an accurate description?
That's an accurate description.
It feels amazingly light and balanced in your hands, almost as if it was an extension of you, even though you are not a swordsman of any kind.
I have had a little bit of training, it's true, but not a lot. So
it has weight to it, so it's not quite a lightsaber where you're just holding the hilt, and there's no real weight to the top of it. But nevertheless, it is as light as a feather and easy to whip around as you might imagine it to be. So Eric, on his knees, 62 feet away from the rest of the group. Two things will happen more or less at once. One is, if anyone wants to run for Eric, to be like, oh my God, is Eric okay? What has he got? This is your opportunity to do that. So does anyone want to approach within 62 feet, or are you all content?
Yeah, I think
One quick question, not to be the one who goes, teacher, you forgot to give us homework, but I believe you said that anybody who's looking at Eric was blinded.
Oh, you are quite correct. Thank you very much. You get an extra star for that. So anyone who was looking at Eric is not blinded, but flash blinded. In the sense,
dazzled.
Whoa, you've
Okay.
your eyes, and there's spots, and there's several images of Eric overlaid on top of each other that take about a minute to wear off, such that your ability to detect the one Eric is restored. Is that a little bit better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like
I
when
mean-
Eric smiles, it just dazzles you.
I'll head over just because, like, what the hell?
So Allie closes on the one Eric. Is
Yes.
anyone else closing on the one Eric?
Baby.
Maybe, yeah, I'm not going over there. Which is convenient, because the other thing that happens almost instantly happens with you, Rhiannon.
Uh-oh, okay.
And that is, you'll have a sort of cascade of thoughts, as I imagine that you would normally have when you see something as ridiculous as this occur, with almost no warning, because you got almost no warning, maybe a minute, and Eric giving his grand pronouncement. It'll take you a second to realize that these thoughts are not necessarily your own subconscious, but could be something talking to you in your head. It's a sibilant female voice sort of whispering a set of questions, as if it were your own internal dialogue and your own sort of cascading doubts and thoughts, right? It takes you a moment to pick apart, is this me or am I being talked to here? And the dialogue goes a little something like this. What has he done? Does he not care what could have happened? He could have killed us all. He could have killed these children. Does he not know the consequences of his actions? Look at May and Oldor. They barely trusted us. Now they surely don't. Can we trust their motivations anymore? Does he expect no one will care, that no one noticed? He's reckless. He's going to get these children killed if he keeps acting this way. So what, if anything, do you want to do about that?
Oh boy. Oh, yeah, because that seems like, well, so I think what I'll first do is like go really silent and still, because that is something that might occur to me, indeed.
Mhm.
And it does take time to sort of like process. And then I'm gonna look around to see, like, I mean, I guess it doesn't really make sense that some person using telepathy would be like just standing over there, but I'm gonna look around anyway, see if I
Natural
can
human
notice
in-
anybody new.
Natural human instinct. Okay,
Yeah.
so you'll do that. Allie, you were headed towards Eric. Could
Yes.
Joel, you were looking at Eric because you just confessed to
I
being
was.
flash blind. Randy,
Mhm.
you're near Rhiannon. Could you roll a 20-sided die for me? Remember, low
Absolutely.
is good if you want to go into your dice jail. And
Yeah.
one of its-
10.
Okay, so you'll notice Rhiannon is slightly confused for like an instant, but that might just be because of the madness that occurred downfield, right? So nothing really weird or out of the ordinary there, but you'll pick up on the fact that she just sort of like looked around for a second. Maybe that was just her going, is there something else that's going to happen? What's going on? So,
You all right?
so while you're doing that, Allie, you'll sprint across the grass and come rolling up on Eric. Eric, you see someone's coming at you, but it takes you a moment for mind and body to reunite. And when it does, the flames will go out on the sword. Allie is standing in front of you.
What?
I blame
You
Joel.
okay?
Those are your first words.
I might not be reacting as well to this as I could be.
I mean, maybe not. Like, you're okay though?
I don't know. Look, I'm standing in the middle of a field with a flaming sword that I made up in my hand.
I mean,
None of this is okay.
Yeah, I guess. I guess you could always operate on the theory that when you write, you're not really actually making anything up. You're just kind of channeling stuff from other realms that
Oh my
kind of
God.
trickles into your brain.
Did I not tell you that initially? Is that not a story that you were repeating to me that I told you 10 years ago?
So the two of you
Did
are
you?
engaged in this.
Probably. Oh my God, this is Ed's fault. This is all your fault, Ed. I hope you can hear this.
So while the two of you are engaged in that conversation, no one is whispering here, just to be clear.
No.
Rhiannon, Randy, Mai's brain will come back online and she'll turn in your direction and whisper intently, what has he done? What is he doing?
Oh, it's a family heirloom. He summoned a family heirloom to help protect us.
He has that much power?
Not always. But I want to apologize for him. And we really appreciate that you're helping us. So I wouldn't want you to, like, he's not dangerous. I'm just saying.
He's not. That's Oldor. He's not.
I mean, not to us, not to you,
see
not
sort of-
intentionally.
He's not intentionally.
Not intentionally.
You can see sort of behind their eyes the look of like panic.
You were gonna help us get away, and then we won't be your problem anymore. So
My help?
yes, because he may be powerful, but he's very untrained.
What?
She said,
I mean, it's all true. Right?
Yeah, that's pretty true.
I don't know you. But and neither does Gandios. And she'll look down at the children that the two of you are holding. But I'm here for them and not for you. What are your plans for them?
That's valid.
were we going to try and take him to a Rouge Bayem, or were we?
I mean,
Is that out loud,
Else?
Andy? Is that out loud?
do it.
Sure. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I'm asking the group.
I mean, by default, whenever you
well,
say something, you are saying it out loud
Yeah,
in the game.
yeah.
they're
The
they're
group is
over
just-
there
Yeah,
dealing
it's just
with the
Randy
sword
and
thing.
Rhiannon at the moment.
Yeah.
And I'm listening for a voice to go, little did he know, because I've watched Stranger Than Fiction too many times. So
We need to take them to someone who can care for them. You may be thinking we're not the ones to raise them, and you are absolutely correct. But we can perhaps find somebody to raise them, because I don't think that basket on the step of the orphanage is the way to go.
Do you know anyone in this world?
Do you have
Define
any
no.
suggestions?
Have we wandered back over toward the group at this point?
That's
Okay,
fine
so
by me.
I'll TO that conversation and go back to Allie and Eric. Joel, is it safe to say that you would wander over in the direction of Allie and Eric, or wander back in the direction of Rhiannon and Randy?
Are you kidding? He just summoned Vindicator. Of course I'm walking over there.
Okay. So now it's the three of you. Go ahead, picking up from Infinite Realms Theory. Let me tell you more about it. Okay, go ahead.
I know people in this world.
Joel, you were.
I don't think people you wrote count.
No, I don't mean people I wrote.
And most of the people you wrote would probably not like you if they figured
Oh
out.
no, I don't want to meet people I wrote. What are you talking about?
I mean, I wouldn't mind meeting people you wrote, but that's an entirely different process.
I don't know if you'd like them so much in real life.
I'm not sure I would trust any of the irregulars except for Stong to raise a child. I mean, Stong.
That's fair.
Well, okay. Given the year we're in, Stong isn't around. None of them are around.
Oh, good
Illyra's
point.
around, but she's
Illyra's around.
ooh, problematic.
No.
Let's not.
No, we're not giving Illyra children.
I have no idea where she is because her history hasn't been published, so it's not canonical. Okay, everything's just in my head, and there's no way Chris would know what's in my head.
Yeah, but that brings
Or
up the
is
question:
there?
does Chris have power over this place? And that also brings up the question: does that mean that everything written in the realms is canonical, whether it's been published or not?
Okay.
Is
Quick,
fan
let me write
Number
a
one,
paragraph.
Allie, please stop saying things that are going to make us all go insane. Two, let's focus on getting out of here, and then we will find a good plan of a path forward.
I'm gonna
Friends
And then
who are helping
Randy-
us, I am sorry. I did not mean to startle anybody. I am perfectly
That's
safe.
That's you
Forgive me.
yelling from 62 feet away, right?
Friends, I did not mean to startle anyone. Everything's good. We're all good over here. How are you?
I like that. Excellent. Over here. How are you? Joel, you were about to say something. Please say it.
I was just going to say that perhaps putting as much distance between us and the demon and the paladins might be a good idea in the short term, and then we can figure out what we're doing next.
Yes, agreed.
Okay, so is it safe to say that the three of you will now begin making your way over towards Randy, Rhiannon, and May and Oldor?
Yes.
I'd say
Okay.
so.
And I
So
wrote down realm
go ahead.
story. And then Randy checked his pocket and found a map to their destination. Does that become canon? We're just doing a test.
Okay.
Wow.
I'll check my pocket. Anything?
No, there's nothing in that pocket that wasn't there an instant before.
Ah, darn, worth a try.
Okay.
Okay.
So
hang
here's
on,
what we
hang
need
on,
to
Eric.
do.
Before you get there,
We need to
hang
get
on just
to.
1 second. Let me finish the Rhiannon conversation.
Go
and then-
ahead. Go ahead. Please. I don't mean to interrupt.
No, quite all right. So Rhiannon, she will say, I know someone who may be able to help us, but I need your word on your life that you will follow my lead and offer no additional dangers of the kind that we just saw.
Absolutely. And I need to go strong arm my friends into making the same promise.
Yeah,
I
I
will wait.
swear on Rhiannon's life. No, I'm just kidding. I swear on my
And
life.
you will meet together 42 feet from Eric
Yeah.
and 20 feet from you.
What are we promising? What are we doing?
Okay, so we have somewhere we can take the children, which is really important because because of the year they can't go where we thought we maybe could take them. Anyway, not important. But we have to follow the lead of our guides and no more splashy magic that we don't know what we're doing with. Eric, I'm looking at you right now.
That's fair. I agree. I agree.
All right,
No, I honestly agree.
Joel.
So, okay, I do have a little concern about our guides, though. the fact that there were 13 pillars in, 13 pillars in the Giant's Folly, 13 tables, there was 13 chairs. There was a lot of 13s in there, so I'm a little concerned that we may be in the company of Asmodeus cultists.
Do you want to say the word Asmodeus out loud?
I just did. Maybe
All
I should
right,
not
fair
have.
enough. Thank you kindly, Joel.
Oh boy.
Please go on.
It's okay.
Okay, so
I'm ready.
that's
Bring it.
Yeah.
Do you wish to challenge Asmodeus to a sword fight out loud?
We're all going to die.
No, but I am ready. If
I
Alan, go ahead.
was to say, like, we're all going to die. My safety would be more assured somehow if I went off and did find Illyra.
well, at least you have a good time.
I mean, I would.
I
I
mean,
probably wouldn't survive
So,
it, but I would.
I think this is during her like extremely randy phase, and I don't mean him.
I was about to say,
Does she? Never mind. I was going to say, did she ever grow out of that? But that's not the point.
Oh
So,
yeah, it was much worse before.
Oh dear.
I'm turning back to May, and I'm gonna say, you heard them promise, and now they're gonna they gotta figure stuff out a little bit. But we should probably walk and talk. So with those promises, can we move to our next destination?
She'll look at Oldor. Oldor will look at her. They will exchange a glance that says, this is probably a bad idea.
Yes, it is.
And then May will turn back to you and say, follow us, and begin leading you off the road and into the woods. Oldor, when he passes you, Eric, will say, do you know how to use that?
Vaguely.
Then you should guard the group with us.
I agree.
May,
I will follow your lead.
he'll nod. Like he doesn't believe that.
Look, I'm just expressing my intention. I'm not saying what I will do, just what I
Right,
intend to
telling
do.
you. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
May will say, is there anything we need to know about the threats that might be facing us between here and the gate?
So, okay, when we first came into this plane, we encountered 13 very large wolves, and the other group it could have been a chance encounter, but it appeared that they were waiting for me when I came in. So what's that?
Describe them, she'll say.
They were very large wolves, the size of ponies.
Did they
They
look wrong in some way? Feral more so than you would expect of a typical wolf.
I
The
have
answer
not
to this
encountered-
question is yes.
Yes, they did. Okay, I don't know. I haven't seen enough wolves.
Yeah, I'm
to
over
know.
here just going like,
I mean, they were the size of ponies. I mean, that by itself is.
And they didn't act like regular wolves either.
Oldor will look at May. May will look at Oldor, and Oldor will say, wargs. 13 of them, you say?
Yes, that is
How do you
correct.
know that there were 13, she'll say.
They howled off in sequence while they had me surrounded, and I counted.
They wanted you to know?
It kind of sounded like it, or they were communicating to make sure that that they were all there.
Let's put you. What have you given as names?
Oh, I
I
don't know.
declared myself Elric Thalavar, so
Yeah. Okay.
A good
I mean,
one.
I am extremely white. It's true.
I don't believe that I have given a name, but I will introduce myself as Joel.
Okay, let us put you, Joel, and this is at you, Rhiannon. I'm pointing
Oh,
at you.
Yeah, I'll give my name.
Okay, you, Rhiannon, and now I'm pointing at you, Randy.
Randonius.
Randonius. I have got to write that down because I am never going to.
Yes. Why not? Of course.
I'll
How do you
update
spell
my
Randonius?
Zoom window too, so you'll see it.
How do you spell Randonius?
Randonius.
U.S. Randonius. Okay.
Yeah,
IUS or IOUS?
IUS.
Okay.
Okay. Very good. In the middle, Rhiannon and Randonius, you wish to keep the babes with you?
Yep.
Are you gonna laugh when they call you Randonius?
Yeah.
Like you just
I'm gonna laugh. I'm over here just like going.
Dr.
This is
Fartburger.
just,
What are you going to tell them your name is, Allie?
And Allie?
I'm gonna tell them my name is or they can call me Allie. I'll say my name's Alexandra, but you can call me Allie.
Allie.
Yeah.
And Allie, why don't you stay in the center as well? And the rest of us, I will take the lead, May will say. Uldor and Elric,
That's me.
is that you now?
Mhm.
That's the I don't believe you.
It sounds enough like my name that I'll just respond to it. So
Sounds good.
Also, as we're going, I'm paying careful attention to the baby in my arms in case they start to like react, like to start to get agitated or anything like that while we're
They drank the milk and conked right out.
okay.
They were
All right.
unimpressed by Eric's hijinks. So I don't know. They're so far they're the most grounded members of the group, and so and she'll suggest that Elric and Uldor take up the remaining portions of the triangle as you move through the woods. And so you guys will do that. That seem fair?
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
I can't properly fangirl over being in the realms when everyone else is acting like this.
Hey, Allie, I summoned Vindicator. Okay.
You did.
You
and that
follow-
concerns me.
You follow your bliss.
So I want to be clear, Eric. You've announced what you've done. Not that you're expecting anybody here to really know what that means.
Correct.
But you've announced what you've done to these people.
Mhm.
That's do you question.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's okay. You guys are living large. I am just gonna say that. Okay. So
Careful with your collective nouns there.
Just me.
I have
mostly.
summoned Vindicator. Does that mean anything to you? Okay, anyway, so in any event, so you're saying you do
We're gonna
your-
have Harper agents coming after us. Like, what the?
Okay. All right. So you're moving through the forest. May has a torch that you are using to sort of throw off light. So, 10-ish foot radius around that, illuminating the forest so that you're not crashing into these trees as you're moving through them. You're doing your best to be stealthy, but let's be real. You're not being all that stealthy.
Can I
Eric,
make
you have-
Vindicator glow?
Would you like to make Vindicator?
Yes.
The answer to that question then is yes, of course you can.
Excellent.
So what
Sword and a torch.
what radius of light would you say Vindicator throws off with that lovely leaking silver flame?
It's about the same as a torch.
Okay, so weapons typically throw off 5 feet if they glow like torches. So I'm going to say that this is a little over 5 and a little under 10. How about that?
Okay, sure.
So, so you guys are using the light of 2 sources to navigate your way through the forest. There's no sign of our friends, the wargs, and I use that term loosely. But it's going to take you somewhere between 15 and 30 minutes to get from point A to point B. So you're going to be moving quietly through the woods for a while. There was a short dialogue between Elric and Allie about, you summon whatever you like with your stars. And do you guys want to chatter amongst yourselves at all during the remainder, or would you like to try to be quiet and just move with stealth?
I might murmur something about I hope you didn't screw over whoever's supposed to have Vindicator right now by doing that.
It's Gedrin. I'm sure he's fine.
If he needs it, he'll just call it. I mean, that's how that works, right?
It is. Oh God, that might happen when we're in the middle of combat.
You didn't think of that, did you?
I did think of that just now.
No, just to clarify, did one of Eric's existing swords transform into Vindicator, or did he just summon an entirely new sword?
Do I now have two
thought-
swords?
Yeah, I thought for a moment that that was what happened, but in fact, he handed off his original blade to you, and then
Okay.
stood in the and then gave his pronouncement. I'm channeling magic, and what?
Well-
He got himself a new sword. Did you say I got a magic sword? Joel, can you give me that normal one back, or is Joel
Oh,
got?
there you go, Joel.
Nice.
Because I was going to say your class
mean-
has just become sword hog, if that's going to be the case. But I guess you're willing to share the wealth now that you've got some
I
kind of.
Wielding, it's a thing.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind a magic sword of my own, but I think at this point in time, I don't think Kalen's even put Elashiel back together yet. That thing was in pieces. No, wait. It was in a scabbard that nobody could pull it out of. That's what it was.
So there is talking still going on.
There is
very,
talking.
very quiet talking.
I mean, if we're not quiet anyway,
Why not?
If this is a realistic trek through the woods, I would be A, worried about mosquitoes, and B, probably looking for someplace to use the restroom at some point because we drank a bunch in the tavern and we haven't gone. I mean, this is the real world.
I'm going to give you an award, Randy, because you are the
Uh-huh.
guy who's mentioned P the most in this game.
And realistically, I'm someone who doesn't deal well with long stretches of silence, so I probably would be nervously chattering. under my breath.
Yeah.
So do you want to flag everyone down to the I have to relieve myself against a tree? Could we all take a
Should we all? We don't know. Who knows what situation we're going to run into in the when we get where we're going.
Eric, you have no scabbard for this thing, so you're just swinging it
I
around.
can just.
I'm
I can
using
just
it as
imagine being
as a
tied up
torch.
for hours, and then then we'd be just wishing that we'd use the restroom before we got tied up. For
You're
hours,
making a good point, Randy. I also need to pee.
Excellent.
Oldor
So-
will look at May, and May will look at Oldor, and they will call a halt.
So we'll pick a tree.
Buddy system, I guess.
I don't know. Yeah.
I will buddy up with Randonius.
You're not
Let us go
encouraging-
and relieve ourselves, Randonius.
Let us go and make water.
Stop
and
encouraging
make
each
merry.
other.
Somebody has to hold babies while
I'll-
you got to switch
I'll
off.
take-
So
Yeah.
logistics
I'll,
like
I'll
that.
take one.
All right, so Joel
I mean,
will
yeah.
switch off with Randonius, as the two P buddies go off to find an appropriate tree.
Regret
Allie,
this already.
Allie, I think you also suggested you wanted to use the rest facilities at this point in time. Is that correct? I
Yep,
think
frozen.
I think Allie might have frozen. While we are waiting, Rhiannon,
Oh,
Mm.
there's
you're back.
Allie.
Allie.
Yeah. No, I didn't indicate
Oh,
that.
I thought you did. Okay,
No, I'm
so
fine.
got it. Rhiannon, there's been no additional internal mental dialogue. Are we just shrugging that off and assuming it was a psychotic episode, or
Well, I mean, I tried to address it is the thing. Like that's why I went to like
Looked
Sweet Talk
around.
May. Well, no, I mean that's why like I was trying to talk to May and try to, allay
Ah.
their suspicions a little bit.
gotcha?
Like if that communication had come from May, you would have been like addressing it, is what you're saying?
No, I think what she's saying, and you're going to correct me if I'm wrong, Rhiannon, is the voices. We'll call them the voices, although really one voice. Express some doubts and concerns. You attempted. to
Okay,
allay
yeah,
those
I get it.
doubts and concerns by dialogue.
Yep,
That seems
exactly.
to have stopped the doubts and concerns from being expressed. So success.
Exactly, right? It was saying we got to be careful, we're going to lose our guides. So I go talk to the guides. I'm like, we're not as weird as we seem, maybe, but we can still work together. And then like we're all good.
Okay. So I just wanted to see if you were going to do anything else with that, but you have a strategy and you are
I do. I probably will use the facilities, like, because I am the kind of person who's like, go now, won't have to later. It's just better. Allie, do you want the baby while I'm
I'm not great with. Sure, yeah, I can hold the.
That look on your
Like-
face.
like,
I'll be quick, I promise.
all right.
Does Rhiannon require a pee buddy, or do we feel that Rhiannon can pee boldly alone while the
I'm not going that far. like I'm
So-
not gonna like be right in view, but like I've done archaeological survey, and at some point like you just have to be like, okay, get a little bit of screen, assume the people are not going to stare at you, and just like be done with it, as opposed to like, oh, I gotta go find total privacy far, far away where the monster will get me.
She's an archaeologist. She'll be fine.
So,
I believe Indiana Jones said the same thing. All right.
Now she's an
So,
archaeologist.
archaeologist that she is now. So Randy and Eric, you guys want to, share any deets while you're out there on a pee break, or do your business, return to the group?
Okay, so
How about the game this week? No,
Randonius,
yes.
are you also having a psychotic break? Or are you okay?
I'm okay. I mean, I haven't tried summoning like Rogar's Love Hammer yet, but I figured since that has like a duration of 1 minute or whatever, then
Would
I'm gonna
Rogar
wait.
be alive at this point?
He would not,
Okay.
but I don't know. If it's a spell, it's not like if I summon it, it would reflect. I guess it would the spiritual weapon would reflect whatever. But I feel like it would probably look like the limit if I summoned it. So, yeah.
So what do you think about, well, being in a world where gods do exist?
Oh, where gods exist? I mean, I don't think that they're gods in the sense of like.
Don't let anybody else hear you say that.
But I think that it doesn't bother me because these gods are not tied to social and political, all of the evils that I ascribe to religion in our world. So like,
well, some of them are.
In this world, sure. And
Like
if we were going to stay here, maybe I'd make it my mission to overthrow those evil gods or something like that. But
Randy,
yeah.
We might be staying here.
Well, then, I'd better start learning how to overthrow evil gods, I guess. But
okay.
yeah.
Well, as long as you're feeling good about it.
Yeah, I think I'm fine. Like, I don't have the problem that you do, that like you've tortured these poor people and now you find out that they actually exist and have feelings and stuff, right? So wait, did I say that out loud? I'm sorry. I'm teasing you.
I like your optimism. I like
yeah.
your optimism that I only have one problem.
Yeah. That you only have one problem. Yeah.
All right. Well,
but what for you is the existential, like the key existential crisis that you feel the crux of your existential crisis?
I can't put it in words yet.
Okay.
But like I was saying, there are a lot of different realms. Everyone produces a different realms at their own table, and we're at Chris's goddamn table. So, like, I know Chris. I've known Chris for years, but I don't know Chris all that well. And we haven't gamed together before, not before this. So I don't really know what's going to happen. Well, except for that one time when I killed him. Oh, God, I killed him in a game.
Do you think he's the type that like just is like he takes it as a personal challenge to like kill the characters, or is he like?
Is he lawful evil AF? Yes.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes. Okay. Well, if there's a combat, you might want to stand away from me. That's what I'm saying.
All right. Fair enough.
All right.
And on that note, never have two men exchanged so much information in a bathroom in the woods before.
Well, I drink a lot of whatever we drink at the thing, so.
Returning
you know how men don't talk at urinals? Yeah.
That's why it turns to existential dread so quick. You're surprised. It's surprising.
Yeah. So, all right, you're back together as a group. May and Oldor, after sharing another troubled look, will get you back on the move again. And after another 6-7 minutes, you will arrive at the edge of the clearing. There has been no sign of your friends, the wargs, along your journey. And clearly May and Oldor knew better where they were headed than you all did, because they just sort of looked at a couple of key trees along the way and steered you here faster than it took you guys to get out. But I mean, that's not unexpected insofar as they're locals. The clearing appears pretty much exactly as you left it. The last person having been here being Joel, Hey, Joel, did you drop that fire extinguisher in the middle of the clearing and run for your life?
I did. I'm not going to try to run holding it. So
Guess
it's
what?
still,
It's
is it
still
still
there.
there?
It is still
Okay.
there. Do you wish to recover it?
Sure. I'll see how much of a charge is left. And if it's a decent amount, I'll go ahead and put it back in my bag.
Only that much that you did not use, which wasn't, you didn't use much. You just took one experimental squirt at that lead warg. May will say to you all, is this familiar to you?
Yes, it is.
Is this how you arrived here?
Yes. How did you know?
Because
This is
he
where
just
we
picked up
arrived.
an object that he clearly knew was
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting, she will say. I suspect that this area, this place, was once part of a structure. The rock that we are headed to, I think, was part of a building. I am not a historian, but I suspect that we're probably talking about an elven civilization, since it would clearly predate anything that our people might have built here. But that's just my speculation. Anyway, follow me.
There's somebody
Rhiannon,
so-
that's some amateur archaeology. Does that stir any interest?
Well, and I will say I probably took the baby back. So
Yeah.
Ellie does
I
attest to it.
assume, unless
Okay.
someone tells me otherwise, that those babies are tending to gravitate to the R squared, to Randy and Rhiannon.
Not because I particularly like babies, but I just feel like it's
Fair
important.
enough.
that
Okay, fair enough.
I take
Not
care
that
of
I
them.
like that. I just want everyone to know. Not terribly fond of those babies. But
There's
yeah.
something. There's something for the Farunian bucket list. Learn Elven while I'm here.
Which
So-
type? There's a few different types of
I mean,
elf.
there are a few different types. Certainly.
It's dark, which will make sort of survey harder. So she was thinking that the rock was part of a building. I don't suppose there's anything sort of like on the ground, like old pavement or anything like that. That would be all that I would be looking for.
Roll a 20-sided die. There's
Okay.
always a chance you might spot something.
Not with a 19, I presume.
Not with a 19, though. You almost fall over. Well, and then you're like, I have a baby in my, perhaps now is not the moment. You will make your way towards the rock, which we'll affectionately refer to it as, not the actor, more the movie with Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery. And Joel, you know that this is 100+ feet away. It's not far. In the direction of the black trunked trees, the ones that were clustered close together, that you arrived on the right-hand side of the clearing. That was the way that you went when you ran, Joel. And that's the way that she is now leading you all towards that destination. And you'll get, sorry, go ahead, Joel.
Are the trees burned or are they just black colored?
That
naturally?
appears to be
Can you
their
tell?
natural coloration. That's just the bark of the trees. They don't appear to have been set on fire or in any other way scorched. That's just the coloration of the trees. The ones on the left-hand side of the clearing had electric blue leaves. So, maybe if you know your realm's fauna, or is that flora? I think that's flora, right? Fauna is the animals.
Flora.
Flora is
Flora is plants, fauna is
There
animals.
you go. Okay. Maybe if you know your realm's flora, you'd be able to identify these two particular weird types of trees. But in any event, as you are making your way across, you'll get to within, 50, 60 feet of the rock. You'll see it begin to loom up in the distance. It clears the space for trees around it, so you can sort of see it as a clearing in the distance in the moonlight and the reflected torchlight and the reflected vindicator light. And if everybody could please roll a 20-sided die for me.
Oh,
So I
here we
just want
go.
everyone to know I am rolling the black lava D20 that will be in your hot little hands if you enter the giveaway and win. So please do that because it is real heavy. Please take it off my hands. Here we go. Oh my God.
And
Oh, that's great. Well,
be
on the one hand, I did roll a natural 20. So the die checks out. On the other hand, it is second edition D&D, so that's not necessarily a good thing.
Allie?
And I'm gonna be rolling the new set. So let me
Great.
mute my mic so this doesn't like blow everyone's ears out.
I got a 3.
2.
Oh wow.
Oh, nice.
And I hate that it's second edition because that's a 17.
All right. So Allie and Eric, who have the dice that are really cool, those dice are great for 5e, not helping you at all here.
Oh, yeah.
On the other hand, Rhiannon, Joel, and Randonius who have rolled a natural straight flush or whatever the heck it is. And you guys will, as you're, like I said, about 50, 60 feet away from the base of the rock, you can see it. Uh-oh. Those wargs that you didn't see, there they are, stalking you at the edge of your light, moving quietly through the forest. And the reason you spotted them is because they're about to vector in at speed at you. And that's where we can take our first break if you'd like.
Oh,
Yes,
good.
let's.
Oh, good.
Well, don't go away. We'll see you soon.